I'll be honest, this has been on my mind for the past 8 hours. There's no watch on my hand, but you know, it's been on my mind for the past 8 hours, and I gotta get this off my chest today because it's been really bothering me. Like really bothering me. Today's topic is Pokemon, and not just Pokemon, but how lazy Pokemon games have been made for the past 10 years. Maybe give or take a few years. However, Cat, oh my goodness. Kiki's bothering me, but she's on her own right now. However, I think Game Freak has become lazy within the past 7 to 8 years, and it's been something that has really bothered me. And one of the things that I've grown accustomed to over the past few years with shitty games that have come out is, hey, they tried the best they can, and it could have been done better, and, it's been a missed opportunity, and, like, blah, 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 blah. I always make excuses about it. However, when a company like Game Freak that has made phenomenal games for the past 20 years has decided to just become lazier and lazier and lazier with their game design and their projects, it just really just goes to show that I can't make excuses anymore. I can't go on and be like, yeah, they tried their best. No. Game Freak has not been trying their best as of late. And it bothers me. It really, truly bothers me. I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but I think the last good Pokemon game was Black and White 2. It's pretty far up there in my rankings. It's like number 4 or 3 on my top 5. It's a really good game. They are, like, both Black and White 2 are phenomenal games. There was an excellent story, Unova was really well placed, and when you go through the region, it's sort of a sense of, like, nostalgia mixed with, something new. Because once you beat the base game, you beat Iris, and then you go to the post game, it's like, you get to fight all these gym leaders. And it will go down as one of the best post-game games in Pokemon. It's like, it's the best one. You can fight all the gym leaders. You don't get their badges, but you fight all the gym leaders. You can fight all the champions. It's like everything a Pokemon game should be. And then we get to X and Y, which I dub as the worst ever, like, Pokemon experience, like, ever. You go into Pokemon X and Y, and you get pretty much what I think is a almost remake or reimagining of the first Pokemon generation. Gen 1 on the Game Boy, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work the same way. Also, the lack of post-game content just really bothered me. I beat Black and White, like, so many times, and then I beat X and Y once because I didn't find any interest in playing it again. It usually seems to be the games that I, like, find the most fun. I replay, I save all my Pokemon, I, like, transfer them to another version. I transfer all my Pokemon to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which I'll get to later. However, I enjoy playing the older games because there's not as much hand-holding. And that's also one of the big issues that I have with Pokemon today, is that there's so much hand-holding. It's like you go through the first 8 gyms with everything just being given to you. Now, back when I started playing Pokemon, there were context clues you had to listen, you had to look at and be like, oh, okay, yes, now I understand what I gotta do. I gotta do this, I gotta give this item to this person's then gonna go over to another city or another place. I have to follow them, or I go to the place that they're at and there's a block that I need to break with Rock Smash, and it's like, oh shoot, now I gotta go fight the gym. But, last time I went to the gym, the gym leader wasn't there, so I go back to the gym after doing all this side quest stuff, and it's like, oh, the gym leader's finally there. So now I fight the gym, I get the HM, I teach HM to a Pokemon, and then I go and do Rock Smash, and then boom, puzzle's done. I got everything figured out. However, nowadays, it's the game is holding your hand throughout the entire, from badge 1 all the way to badge 8, and it bothers me. Now, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire I would consider acceptable to some standards. I played through Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, had a good time. I enjoyed it. The Delta episode was a little iffy, but it was a remake, and it was a nice, revisiting of the region that I got introduced to Pokemon with. However, still, lack of post-game content made the game just get stale very, very fast. And this is a continuing factor that always seems to happen. Let's move on to Sun and Moon real quick. Now, Sun and Moon is that weird game where I just was like, I didn't play it. I didn't have any point to play it. I was like, I don't want to. I was not feeling another Pokemon game. I was in high school, and I was like, oh, I don't want to play another Pokemon game. It's not my thing anymore. I was tied up with Smash Brothers and all these other things, all these other games that I was playing. But Pokemon had kind of just hit the back of my head. I was like, it's done. I can't play it anymore. I don't like the grind. I don't like the hand holding now. After Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, I was like, maybe it's time for me to shelve it. And a lot of my friends did enjoy Sun and Moon, and by extension, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I don't know much about the game because I haven't played as much of it than I wanted. So I might visit it and see how it is, but I doubt it. I doubt that I will ever play Sun and Moon ever, because it was that one game that I just was like, I don't want to play it. I just gotta I gotta skip over it. I'm waiting for a Gen 4 remake, and once that happens, then I'll be done with Pokemon forever. And that's pretty much been the case for me. I kind of just don't want to play Pokemon after they make a Gen 4 remake. Once they make a Gen 4 remake, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna be done. I'll be done forever, done with Pokemon. And that's just been my thing. I was introduced to Pokemon with Gen 3. I played through Gen 3. My favorite generation is 4, which is very overrated by some standards. However, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver will forever be my first favorite game of all time, because it was the game that had Gen 2 and Gen 4. Okay? These two games, Gen 4 and Gen 2, were undoubtedly my favorite generations. Now, I didn't play much of Gold and Silver. I liked Gold and Silver. However, when you got all the Pokemon from Gen 3 up to Gen 4, and you put that in Gold and Silver, with the extension of, going to Kanto and beating all the gym leaders in Kanto, and then going back to the champion, beating Red, you got an excellent game right there. And then you got Black and White 2, and, you got all the gym leaders from previous games, so you don't get gym badges for, but you beat them. And you get two excellent games. Correction on the ranking. Black and White 2 would probably be my second favorite game in the franchise. But yeah, let's move on to Sword and Shield, because this is where it gets a little interesting. Now, Sword and Shield has DLC for it. I haven't played it yet. I haven't played any of the DLC yet. However, I did get up to the Elite Four area. I just gotta beat the Elite Four. However, I'm slowly grinding all of my Pokemon up to a serious level where I don't have to lose constantly to beat the Elite Four. And Sword and Shield is, somewhat decent. I like it. However, there are missed opportunities in it because they're missing Pokemon that people like. I was upset when I couldn't get a Zubat in the game. I wanted to have my Crobat. I wanted to have a Crobat that knew Cross Slash and, all that stuff. I was so excited. Like, oh my God, they're going to have this wild area with all these Pokemon. And then you realize that there's not as many Pokemon as, you were meant to believe. And the wild area is pretty much basically empty of and devoid of trainers. It'd be nice. Like the one thing that I would change with Sword and Shield is if they added NPCs that changed in the wild area. You'd encounter more NPCs as you progress through the game in the wild area. And later through the game, their Pokemon levels would be higher. Kiki, please stop. Okay? But, that's what I would have done, to make the game a little bit more challenging and make the wild area a bit of something of its own. Because, believe it or not, the wild areas just gets boring after a while. And, you got the fighting those giant Pokemon, whatever they were called. I don't remember. But you fight them, those giant Pokemon, you get these candies that level up your Pokemon. They just needed something extra. They needed NPCs that would challenge you, and they would always challenge you. As you progress through the game, their Pokemon would level up, evolve. They'd add more Pokemon to their team, and a more challenging game. That's one of the things I would change. The other thing is I would make the DLC free because I'm not paying for that damn DLC. I ain't paying for it because I've never been the biggest fan of, they obviously knew it was a mistake. And, they're like, oh, just, we don't have enough time. Let's just make it as a DLC. And it's like, really? Oh my goodness. Why? Why in God's name? Why in God's name are you going to make it a DLC? And why are you making us pay a ridiculous amount of money for it? It's ridiculous. Now, it's not like, Destiny levels back when Destiny came out where everything was just, you had to pay for everything. But it's still like, if I'm going to get a game, I want to have it be complete at least. Now, Pokemon Home is going to have the ability for you to transfer Pokemon. That's not the part I'm worried about. I have a Pokemon bank account, and it's nice to have it. However, I can't wait for Pokemon Home to happen, and I can transfer my Pokemon from Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, my team from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, transfer it to Sword and Shield, and then have my broken team that I've had for 10 years and use them in Sword and Shield. But it's something that's super, super annoying. And I think they could have done Sword and Shield some big justice if they had just made tiny changes, adding more trainers and, making the story less babysitting and less of a babysitting tale than I don't know, man. It's annoying. And I know I'm just a 20-year-old guy talking about Pokemon, but Pokemon has changed so much since 2010. And it's so sad to see that Game Freak has become so lazy. And it just bothers me. But anyways, that's just me. I'm going to end this video here before I get a bloody nose like I did the last video, because that actually did happen. And yeah, that's going to be it. You know, I got to feed this cat. Hold on. Let me get her for you. Say hi. Yep, there she is. She's been bothering me this entire time. So anyways, dudes, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, liked it. If you disliked it, dislike it. And boys and girls, I'm out.